All right, everybody. Welcome to another late night here on the Minnesota Sports Pulse, giving you a vitals check on all things pro Minnesota sports teams from heartbreak to hype. Tonight definitely falls in the heartbreak category, wouldn't you say, John?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too discouraged. Yes, this is a terrible game. I mean, we didn't even come off the bus, and I think that everybody else, can kind of get behind that, right? Like, we won't even go to all the details on it. I think we can all agree there wasn't a single-handedly good thing about this game. Um, we're an emotional team, ups and downs all the time. We've done it all year long. It's something that you and I have discussed. Actually, you know what? That's false. There's one good thing about this game, and that's the fact that it's over. We are very happy that this game is now over and we're coming back to Minnesota. Um,
Uh,
I want to focus on the one good positive here, and that's that we're coming back to Minnesota tied 1-1. And if we would have said, hey, we're gonna go into San Antonio and steal one of two and come back to Minnesota tied 1-1, I think all of us fans would be extremely excited. So I'm gonna hang on to that and be okay with that and just say, hey, we're coming back to Minnesota. We play better at home, and if we leave Minnesota again and go back to San Antonio 3-1, it's over. Okay. We're good to go. Like I'm gonna be that person right now. I'm gonna choose to think positive and jump in. Now I don't know what you're gonna choose to do. You can definitely give your opinion on whatever you want because I know we're both frustrated and I'm taking the high road, which is usually not what I do. So I'm going to let you take your road, whichever one you want to go for.
no, I think you made a couple good points there. Like you said, if you had told us before the series started, we would split these first two games, given the health uncertainty of the team and just how big of a favorite San Antonio was heading into this series, we would have taken that in a heartbeat. A split on the road is what you want in these type of series, regardless of the situation. So now the way these two games have played out, Minnesota hasn't played their best in either one of these games, especially tonight. And we've been a switch flipping team all year, like you said. Extreme highs where we can beat any team in the league, but also extreme lows where we look like we don't even belong in the league.
I mean,
So,
that's tonight. And I think everybody
yeah.
can agree with that. So that's
Um,
that's that's the tough part about being a Minnesota sports
mhm.
fan. And I think everybody listening can fully agree and attest to having those same emotions that we're currently going through.
Yeah, some things to definitely work on before game 3. San Antonio came out with a definite higher level of intensity. Wemby was early on attacking the basket, which he did not do nearly as much. He didn't exert as much of his effort on the defensive end as he did in game 1. He was attacking the basket, attacking the boards. Um, a couple other notes from this game. Io came in and
Crunch.
in the first half again left. They're listing it as a heel problem instead of a calf problem. I'm not even. I believe it's the same leg.
Yeah, it is.
I
It's the
think,
same line.
yeah, I think we just need to move forward with the rest of the series, assuming that we will not be having Io.
I mean,
Which,
I don't
yeah,
know how severe this is. I'm gonna be honest with you because they announced that right before half or at half, right?
hmm
That he was questionable to come back in. And at that point we were already down 25, 30 points. So like at what point do you really think like, hey, they're gonna be like, you know what, he's not feeling the greatest anyways. Let's just cut his loss for the game and try and come back, with the other players that we have. Because I mean, I could easily see that being a big factor in it too. I mean, you played him for the first half and it was awful. Not on his part. I mean, he was part of it, but the entire team just awful. Right? Effort level wasn't there. We couldn't make a bucket. We didn't play defense. We turned the ball over. I mean, we were giving the ball away like it was charity. Like that's exactly how we played. And so at that point, maybe the coaching staff just made an executive decision. You know what? This isn't our night. We're gonna keep you on the bench for the rest of the game. We're gonna, call it quits, and you're gonna be coming back on, game 3. And maybe that's not the case, but
I
when I
think,
heard that news, that was the
yeah,
first thing I thought of. Was that they're like, you know what? It's not our night. We're gonna shut them down.
I suppose that's possible. I tend to disagree simply because if that was the case, there was absolutely no reason to be playing Ant through the
And
end
I
of the
agree,
third
but
quarter.
Ant's a different competitor, and to be honest, if Ant says he's playing, he's playing. So and
Maybe.
we discussed that in the last video where Ant's like if I'm ready to play, I'm gonna play, and he might come back even sooner than what he probably should come back, right? That's what we were both worried about coming into game
Uh-huh.
1 and game 2. So I mean, I think he's got a little bit more weight to his words when some of those
Mhm.
things come there and happen. But I completely agree with you because that thought did go through my mind as well.
Yeah, let's talk about Ant for a minute. He came out, he didn't start, again, came off the bench, which I thought was the right move. Came into the game and he was definitely more aggressive, looking for his shot, pulling the
Mhm.
trigger early. It felt like in game one, he was letting the game come to him a little bit, kind of waiting for his opportunities. Here, it felt like he was forcing it a little bit more. A bit of a rougher shooting night for him.
The entire
Uh,
team, but
yeah,
yes.
and the Spurs came out and approached it differently this time around. In that second quarter, when they really made their big run, they amped up the defensive pressure, and it was immediate double teams. As soon as Ant would cross half court, as soon as
Mhm.
Ant got the ball in his hand, immediate double team. And this Timberwolves team, is prone to turnovers in bunches, and that's how San Antonio built this lead, between that and just a bizarre I don't know, 5, 6, 7 possessions if we probably go back and watch where San Antonio got a fast break off of a made basket. If
Yeah,
that's
like,
not
we didn't get back
indicative
on
of
defense.
effort on for what we brought to this game, I don't know what is. You can't give up fast break points on made baskets. That's just inexcusable.
Mhm. Well, we started the game off terrible. Like, I think our first 3 possessions, 3 turnovers. It was bang, bang, bang. Like, that was
Nah,
really rough.
I
So,
missed the first
I
I
mean,
missed the first 2 minutes of the game because ESPN switched to ESPN2, and by the time I got over to it, they were already 4-2 because
well,
apparently
that's what
without
you missed.
Embiid, the Sixers put up a much better fight, which is just
No.
dumb.
It's like, that's what you missed is, like I said, it was 3 turnovers, it was bang, 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 it was bad, and at that point, I was a little bit skeptical. I'm like, "This better not be the way it goes," and, I mean, we had 20 turnovers in the first 3 quarters. That
Mhm,
is just atrocious, okay? Like, and we pulled the starters in the 4th, which, I mean, okay, whatever, get them out of there, they didn't deserve to be on the court anyways, we need to rest them, like, and honestly, we probably played better with the backups, and that's fine, but nobody cares about the 4th quarter because we were down by 50 points at that point. So, I think, we gotta take our whooping, because it was handed to us. I mean, from the start of the game, we have to take it and we have to learn from it, and we got to go back to Minnesota and make sure it doesn't happen again. Because like, there's nothing else that you can do. There's not a whole lot of positives you can pull from this,
mhm,
but you can learn from the mistakes that you made and the way that San Antonio came out and played you and how well it worked. Right? Like now, I mean, we should already know this, but we know exactly how they played, how it affected us, and what our weaknesses were that they were coming after, right? So we got
mhm.
to be better about that. And I think actually we learned a lot in this game. Um, it's kind of negative, and I don't like saying this, but I'm going to be honest. There's only 8 guys that we can play. That's it. There's 8 guys we can play. It's the starting 5 that we had tonight. Then you got Ant. Then you got Naz coming off the bench, and you got AO. Those are it. We can't play Anderson. We can't play Highland. We can't play. Um, oh gosh, what was his face?
Clark?
Clark. There you go. Yeah, we
I
can't
I
we
can
can't
I
play
can
any of them.
I can live with Clark being on the floor in specific situations. I would like Jaden McDaniels to not get 3 fouls in the first 14 minutes of the game, maybe. He's done that twice now,
2
back-to-back
times, yeah, in a
games.
row, yeah. But, I
He's
mean, I
yeah.
don't trust any of those other 3 right now. I like Bones a lot. I've never been a huge Anderson fan. I don't know this Clark guy very much, but, Bones, I've liked a lot this year. I think he's stepped up in a lot of big spots for us throughout the season that we didn't expect, but he's been absolutely nowhere throughout the playoffs, and that's very concerning,
Mhm.
although we've honestly, as an offensive team, have been pretty bad throughout the playoffs. Like if you're going back and looking at percentages throughout series one and now this series, it's not looking great. We're kind of in a slump, and we got to get out of that really quick.
Yeah, well, it kinda emphasizes Minnesota's point guard problem. During the regular season, it is what it is. You can get away with having, below average point guards. And not that Bones Highland and Mike Conley aren't good in their own ways, but Mike Conley wasn't nearly as effective tonight as he was in game one. And Bones Highland is just not physical enough. The Timberwolves are a very physical team in every position except the point guard position. Um, Spurs have fast, thick, athletic guards. On the wing, the Timberwolves have that athletic and physical advantage, but at the specific point guard spot, he's Bones Highland and Mike Conley are too small to hang with Dylan Harper, and they're too slow to hang with De'Aaron Fox. It's just not ideal, and they're basically being played off the floor right now. And I could live without Kyle Anderson ever shooting the basketball again in my life. Man, his shot is just ugly. He does some good things, but he's not going to be a factor in this series again, I would say.
Well, I mean, he's like Joe Ingles for me. I'm fine with him being on the team, but I don't want him to touch the floor.
Mhm.
Like I just that's just my opinion. And it's not that he's not a good basketball player in his own right, but I just don't see how he's going to help us in any way, shape, or form with the players that we have. Now, yes, our hands being forced, right? We're injured. AO was out for the second half, and we're down DiVincenzo. So like okay, we have to play who we had to play, and I totally understand that as well. But it was
Yep.
just a really, really, really rough game for everybody all around. We probably would have put up a better
Yeah.
fight if we just stayed on the bus, honestly, because it was just bad that way. But 1-1, we're coming back to Minnesota. Okay. I'm happy with being 1-1. I hope everybody else is happy with being 1-1. Like, yeah, I would have loved to be 2-0, and I would have loved for my 4-0 prediction last episode to be still going and still be perfect, and I'd still be sitting pretty, but I'm not. Okay. I'm 1-1. So we're got to come back to Minnesota. We really have to buckle down and we got to win game 3 because we can't have San Antonio come in and win game 3 in Minnesota because that would be so depleting. And from that point on, I could see it being a massive uphill battle for Minnesota to even come back and win two games,
Yeah.
of the series. Because I mean, you drop one at home after a butt whooping like tonight right after this. Oh, that's just so depleting.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about game 3. I mean, this feels a little bit like that game 5 when we had versus Denver on the road, a lot of turnovers, sloppy play, just tell
Mhm.
that our heart wasn't really in it. You come back home and you put on a great performance. So, the San Antonio team is young. This is their first trip through the playoffs. They're clearly feeding off of the great crowd they have there in San Antonio. We will see how they do coming up against with a real challenge in a hostile environment like they'll see on I think the next game's on Friday in Minnesota. So
Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Honestly, maybe we should have had them keep that crappy court that they had in game 1. Might have been
apparently,
able to see the basket a little better. Maybe we would have shot better too. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm glad it wasn't on my TV, but man, it didn't go our way tonight.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're gonna stop. Talking about tonight. I think we've kind of hit all the points that we want. We've gone through a couple positives. I mean, we're excited to get to game 3 because we want this to be in the past and be behind us here. And there's a lot of things that we can take to work on from this. So, is there anything else you want to hit on quick, Josiah?
No, Naz Reid actually had himself an okay shooting night when no one else did. He was 3 for 4 from three, so hopefully he keeps that going because we need someone to hit outside shots.
Hey, I think we might have made 5 or 6 total threes. So he was, yeah.
9 for 30.
Oh, so we made like 5 in the 4th quarter. That's exactly because we were at like
Yeah.
24%, I think, at the end of the 3rd quarter. So we had to jump up there a little bit.
Yeah, well, San Antonio made 16 threes, so there's a little bit of difference there.
They also shot like 35 free throws. I mean, every foul we had in the first half was a shooting foul. That was rough. So,
Yeah, well,
but
yeah.
all right. Well, hey, thank you guys for listening to episode 4 here. We hope that next time we see each other, it's a little bit better of an outcome. Please like, subscribe, follow us, share with all your friends and family. We love to kind of get the word out to everybody else here. But this has been the Pulse of Minnesota Sports. We're going to catch you in the next episode, okay?
Have a good night, everyone.